Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new edition of the Triple Trio, our weekly look at all things Hong Kong racing and a little look at the global racing scene as well. He is simply the best form analyst in Hong Kong, and the other guy is in the Hall of Fame. That's how elite he was in the saddle. Clint Hutchison and a Raymond Shane Dye. Hello, Hutch.
Hello, Richo. I can't wait for this weekend.
Beauty.
We get these superb international races in Hong Kong with this little bit of an international flavour, as you've mentioned, with Japanese entries, Australian entries. So there'll be plenty of people from Oz cheering home Brightside and patronage. Can't wait.
Let's get to the star of the show, the Golden Boy. Welcome.
Hello, mate. Missed you last week, but it's not hard to find you because you hosted the stall gift. You're on TV every night. They'll be replaying it every night for an hour. I'm flicking the channel. Richo's on again. On again.
Hey, Shane, did you get to see the old footage of him winning the stall gift?
Yes, I have.
They seem to put that on loop. I don't know if it was by request or not, but it got a lot of airtime.
Oh, no, it was by request, by me.
But do you know what the great thing was? I remember Richo saying once, the New Zealand sprinters are no good.
Oh, here we go.
This and that. And anyway, I wonder who made the final of the stall gift. There was a Kiwi in it. And I'm thinking, here we come. Even the Kiwis are taking over. It's only a matter of time.
You did notice that Kiwi sprinter did a hamstring 10 metres from the line and came last. That's because I had a little gun and popped him in the back of it.
Beautiful work.
Oh, great stuff. Hey, let's reflect on last week. I was watching on with great interest and the team delivered.
Hutch, and we love it when you can find us a winner in the last.
Yeah, we will. That's what we'll be trying to do, JT. Don't worry about that. And this is a cracking race. This is one of the races I'm most looking forward to on the whole day.
South Star's a length away from another world. It's still Janu Pride. Half a length over South Star and Stella Swift getting to third. South Star driving at the top weight. Endel beat him. Top Dragon down past the 125 is 3 in front of Gallant Epoch and Jubilant Winner, and Purton's going to grab himself an early double. Top Dragon eased down and scores impressively. Between Felon and Excellent Value, they're going to have a great battle here in the last, and Felon for Ben Thompson.
Yeah, just some of your beautiful work over the weekend for the team. And April's been a good month. We had a little correction in March, and April's starting to fire.
Yeah, we had a big dip. We had one of our worst months ever. But as we said, you've got to keep. It's all about the long game. We've got to keep going. And fortunately, we bounced back in style. We want to continue this. I suppose, trajectory
this is
towards the end of the
season to date, Hutch, after meeting 66 of 86.
Yeah, exactly. So it can be a little bit tough towards the end of the season with, the monsoonal weather and how tracks play. But we had a very good end last season, and I'm hoping we can replicate that.
So 8.09% profit on turnover. Well done, mate. Huge show coming up. We're going to analyse Champions Day. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And our very special guest, the best jockey in the world, is James McDonald, and he will be joining us as well. Plus our usual features. We'll look forward to future winners and form files with Hutchie. And also the Idol, where it comes right down to the line. But Sunday is for racing at Sha Tin. We start on Sunday with the Chairman's Sprint Prize, and hallelujah, the champ is here.
Yeah, he's he's the pride of Hong Kong, I suppose, at the moment. I don't know what price. He might start $1.10. I don't know, but I've got him $1.30. I don't think there'll be a play in the race for me, maybe an exacta. Great to see Satono Revu. Went within a 3/4 of a length of him, of course, in December in that run where QEII Rising didn't run to his usual level. Helios has been the Quinella horse for him. They send the 3 in the race that'll probably fill those spots once again. And Satono Rev, who we'll touch on in a moment, it's got Joe Moreira in the saddle, and Joe's certainly not one to be overwhelmed by a big occasion.
Certainly not. So, Shane, if you were riding against QEII Rising for any of these other horses, what do you possibly do?
No, I'm trying to run second and giving my horse every chance.
Okay.
I'm not going out there. This is different. You know how I say you're going out there to beat the favourite. You do things to beat him. With this horse, he's too good. You can't beat him. So what you're trying to do is ride your horse perfect, not to beat him, but to run second. And if something happens to him along the way, good and proper. It's totally different to what I've been saying because he's unbeatable, this horse, unless things go wrong or something happens. So you go out there to ride your horse the best of its ability. and where it should be in the run. Otherwise, you'll bring yourself undone and you won't run second.
And Shane, is that also part of the fact because QEII, he does sort of make his own luck? Like, you know, there's no point taking yourself out of the comfort zone because it's only going to suit him and take away from your performance.
100%. And that's just a fact. He's just too. It's a sprint. It's easier to get horses beat when you're getting up to a mile and a quarter. Other horses, when you're in the same race, you can do things, but over a sprint distance, you can't. He just jumps. Zach puts him there. Zach keeps him out of trouble if he can. But this horse will be better when he's fourth or fifth, and he can explode like he did last start when he gave him a chance out of the gates. But he doesn't need to be at present because he's dominant. And from gate, what's he got? Gate 4, I think. The three inside him won't go too much. He'll clear them. He'll either lead or he'll be what's in the race. There was something I thought that would lead him. Victor, the winner, might come across and lead, you know. And then you've got, of course, Magic Control, who's outside of Victor Winner. If he wanted to go forward, he could. You know, but there's not an overabundance of pace, I didn't think, in the race, Clint, and Zach will just put him there, and he's just too good this horse.
I think Zach will want to jump, put him there and set a good tempo. And no excuses then.
And the obvious Quinella horse that you reference is Helios Express, Shane. So if you're Huey Bowman, you draw wide, do you just go back, ride him quiet and just hope that there's a little chink in the armour and dash late?
That's all you can do. He can't do anything different, Huey. You know, he's very one-dimensional, the horse. Especially from the gate, but we are on the A track and we've seen many horses sit back a bit 3 wide with cover and come down the middle on the A track. Whether that's tomorrow on Sunday or not, that's debatable, but that can happen and he'll get back and run on.
Yeah, Nicole Purton's out and about for us and has recorded a stack of interviews building up to this. Let's start with her analysis with the big 2, David Hayes and her husband, Zach Purton.
I thought he trialled well, as he always does. He's a pleasure to do anything with from the time he first come to Hong Kong until today. He's just a real gem. He's one out of the box and he did exactly what he normally does. He showed good speed, he got into a rhythm and he pulled up really well, so we're very happy with him.
You've also galloped him since. How has he been feeling in the morning?
Same thing. You know, he loves coming out to work every morning. He's very keen and eager to get out here and you know, once he gets out on the track and into his rhythm, he settles down a little bit. And, he just cruises. He floats across the ground. He's a very special horse. So he's in good form. We're looking forward to the race and you know, hopefully we can draw well and just get a nice run on him.
How do you approach training a quality horse like him?
Oh, you just keep him in routine. The key to training a good horse is trusting them. You get their routine as regular as possible and then trust him.
How excited for Sunday are you?
Yeah, I'm really excited. There's a Triple Crown involved where there's a lovely bonus for the owners and an undefeated season. It's only been done, I think, once or twice before in Hong Kong. 8 wins. That would be very special.
And importantly, have you got the lucky suit pressed and ready to go?
Yes, Prue's been under immense pressure, but it's there, ready to go. It was a bit creased last week, so we had a bit of a panic to get it right.
I'm sure it'll be right. Don't worry about that. What about the Japanese Raider? How can we line up Satono Red?
Well, we've seen him back in December, and I thought he ran really well there. But the good thing is Joe's been on his back. He's won since, and you know maybe he's open to improvement. The reports are from Hong Kong. The Japanese contingent are absolutely delighted with how this horse has arrived. They're looking at it like this. He only beat us by 3/4 of a length last time, QEII Rising, that is.
Yeah.
We feel we're going better. Maybe we can test him now.
But maybe QEII was off that day.
Yeah, that was probably his lowest sort of, a real dip in the form. He wasn't anywhere near what he'd done for the rest of the season. But hey, they're going there well. What I love about the Japanese entries, generally speaking, is that, you know, they're very frank with how their horses have arrived. They're pretty outstanding in their assessments, along with Joe.
Yeah, the Magic Man's with Nicole.
He's such a nice horse. He did win impressively in Japan with me. He did beat a very strong field over there, and I just hope that he's able then to bring his A game here as well. It's a tough race, it's very strong. You guys have got a superstar, one of the best sprinters in the world. But I'm happy to be taking the reins of this guy, because if he does his best, he's surely going to be right there at the end with them.
What feel has he given you in Hong Kong compared to Japan?
When he ran here in December, I think that was a really good performance. Even if he got beaten, he ran third on that international sprint. and he gave him the feel that he is capable to produce his best over here as well. So I'm quite excited to be riding him on the weekend.
So the Magic Man's always good to have Joe Moreira in town. What about Lucky Sweynesse? So thrilled to see him in the form guide, ready to go.
Oh, it's brilliant. Let's hope he can stay sound. I went sort of back and looked at the speed figures. His peak performance that he's managed to produce doesn't rate as well in the top 4 from QEII Rising, which have all come this season. He's about anywhere between 1 and 3 lengths off. So Lucky Sweynesse at his best still isn't...
still isn't QEII Rising.
No. And with this long absence as well, and there's just some of the raw numbers that I've got up there on the screen. With this long absence, Shane, you know, one would imagine it's too tall an order, but he could, if he ran, you know, maybe a length off his best, certainly figure in the finish. And, you know, he seemed to trial pretty well, but it's a long time off.
Well, he's had 4 trials back. You're correct. It's a long time off. He's outstanding. We know that. He's one of my favourites. Richo, if you forgot, and I know you don't like the New Zealand sprinters, but he is a New Zealand sprinter, you know. So we actually had the last 2 best racehorses in the world sprinters from New Zealand. Just to throw that in.
No, you know what? You've converted me. We've got the Quackery over in Perth, and I'm tipping a...
He's tipped a Kiwi.
I'm tipping a 40-1 chance as a Kiwi because you know what? I'm drinking from your Kool-Aid now, mate. I'm on board.
But Clint's right. It's very hard to win off such a long time off. But, of course, he never goes bad. He always tries.
No. And you know what? It'd be great if he could get somewhere near what he's capable of. And I wouldn't be shocked if he did run second. Like if he produces with those trials somewhere near his best, maybe he can. I haven't priced him that way because I just think it's too tall an order from that gap. I've got QEII Rising there. I think Helios is the logical one. Satono Rev will run well, but he's got to travel there. And then Lucky Sweynesse, I've got 40s.
Okay, you got one ahead of 6, Shane?
No, I've got QEII Rising ahead of Satono Rev. I just think he'll be a lot further in front of the other horse from Lucky Sweynesse and, of course, Helios Express. Okay. I'm just hoping he goes well, Lucky Sweynesse.
Yeah, so do we. We're all barracking for him. He's been an absolute beauty, but we'll be there cheering on near any television all around the world watching QEII Rising. I think the best sprinter in the world, a chance to flex his muscles in that Group 1. A quick break. We'll come back. The QEII Cup next. Let's talk about the QEII Cup. It's going to be an absolute beauty, Hutch. As we look at the field, it includes Goliath, who's travelled the world and been competitive in all of the Group 1s. Prognosis is back, Tastiera, so there's that Japanese flavour up against a Kiwi and El Vencedor, and then the best that we've got from Hong Kong.
True international race. I don't think Hong Kong are that well represented here. This is a race where I have in my market predominantly the Japanese dominating. I'm surprised that with the sort of in these early markets that there's not more support for Prognosis. Now let's get back and have a look at this race from December where Romantic Warrior won. Liberty Island was great, but Liberty Island has to come back from Dubai, which was just a run over there. So she's more than capable. The barrier doesn't help her cause either. I thought Tastiera here, Shane, was a very good run because Damien Lane had to do a bit of work through that first 600 and he was vulnerable late, probably peaked a little bit late in the run, but you know, he's also going on fresher legs. He's been targeted for the race and I'm sure that Tastiera could take this one out.
Well, I don't think Tastiera's had a run since then, has he?
No, that's right. No.
So he hasn't had a run for a while. So he's been targeted. He's got an awkward gait, but you would think he would roll forward because there's not a lot of pace in this race, Clint. I suppose the New Zealand horse could lead easy, El Vencedor with Zach on, and I can see him taking up the lead. But outside that, it just looks average.
Yeah, well, there's Khalif on screen, of course, who was well beaten in December. And once they've gone there once and they've performed like that, and I think he jumped around 50s or maybe even bigger in the market, I'm sort of putting him to the side once again. But yeah, you could be right, Shane. There isn't much speed, so I think Tastiera very much could go forward. But the key this time is he might not have to work as hard in order to cross these. I'm pretty sure Liberty Island goes back and drops back in. But what do they do with Goliath? I think Goliath is a really interesting runner because he's more of a 1.5 mile horse.
Yeah, correct.
I thought his run in Japan actually contained some merit because, as we know in this Japan Cup, Shane, they didn't go quick. It didn't suit him. It was a sprint home. I think he acted well on the surface, but he was just out-sprinted.
He pulled quite hard down the back too, Clint. He made up about 3 or 4 lengths on the fence on him, and he got travelling too hard. He hasn't stopped. He's kept coming. But you're correct. He's 2,400-metre horse, but his form before that run was outstanding. Yeah. He was beating really good horses in France before the Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah. Do you think that this is a race where Christophe Soumillon might just say, you know what, I've got a 1.5 mile horse, let's cut the ribbons early and make it a test?
Yeah,
do you think it's a chance?
Well, he could do, but I don't know the horse well enough to suggest that. I've got to know a horse, but I will say this: like on that A track, you can cut him along at about the half mile, 3 or 4 deep if he's back a bit, and then turn it into a real staying test. And I actually think he's got a great chance, that horse, Clint.
Yeah, we've seen some very truly run QE2s with other entrants in it, and I wouldn't be surprised if something like that transpired, because they learned something out of Japan. Like, they got locked up, nowhere to go. True. You know, let's put the pedal to the metal a bit.
Also, Christophe's not one-dimensional as a jockey. He'll do anything to win a race. So I would always have that in the back of my mind if I was riding against him. Whereas there's a lot of very one-dimensional jockeys, you know they're not going to go outside the box. Christophe is so good, he does go outside the box. So you always got to watch him.
And what about Prognosis? We'll chat to James McDonald in a moment with more in-depth analysis of Prognosis. But
I can't believe this horse isn't being respected more.
I'm staggered to see some of the early fixed prices around the globe. Bizarre.
He has Hong Kong. He's got the best form at Sha Tin over this trip of any horse, easily. Shane, he's only got a sort of... I know he's had a beaten run, of course, recently in Japan on a wet track where I thought he had an excuse. Wasn't all that long ago he ran second of Via Sistina in a record-breaking Cox Plate.
Cox Plate.
Like, you don't have to go back very far. He likes Sha Tin. You get J-Mac going on as well. I mean, I'm not sure where the negatives are.
No, I've got him right up there too, Clint. I think he'll run well. I know he was disappointing last start, as you said, on a wet track, but his run in this race last year was enormous. His 3 runs have all been enormous, and you can debate whether he should have won all 3.
Yeah, let's have a look at the Hong Kong Derby. Does that Hong Kong Derby form hold up here?
I don't think so. I'm not even sure if Ruby Lot in this race, no. I think it might in another race, but Ruby Lot, this was a difficult race to take much out of, except that my wish is the Premier 4-year-old. Cap Ferrat was okay, had the run of the race. Ruby Lot got into a bit of a bumping match, of course, with another runner, and it was an even finish. But I'm just not sure what Ruby Lot's right distance is now. I'm not sure if he's a good run-on miler, if he's a 2,000-metre horse. Shane, I don't know. Do you have a firm opinion with Ruby Lot?
I don't think any of the the Hong Kong horses can win this. I don't. I think this is a strong 2,000, Clint, and these are nice horses coming from overseas, and our horses in Hong Kong just aren't as good as the overseas horses this year.
Yeah, there's a big hole, isn't it? And the hole is Romantic Warrior at 2,000 metres.
Well, no Bubble. I mean, Voyage Bubble could have gone to this
That's
race.
right, could have.
And I think he would have won it if they had have gone this way.
Yeah.
But they've decided not.
They went to go back to the mile, of course. Nicole Purton catches up with David Hayes talking about Ruby Lot.
I elected to run him rather than trial him, and his last 400 was as good or better than the first 3 horses home. So it was one of those tempo races, coming back in distance from 2,000. It was really just a warm-up race. And he's come out of it very well. He's just got to prove that he's up to the world-class horses at set weights. And a realistic goal is that if he could run a place, we'd be absolutely thrilled. And he's healthy and well. And I'd love to see him compete well against the locals.
Shane, you were in New Zealand, I think, when El Vencedor was able to win again. Can he measure up here, the Kiwi?
Well, he tries hard, he's very consistent, and he races on pace, and he's done nothing wrong. He's going to be there for a long time. Now, whether he's as good as them, the Japanese horses and the European is debatable, but he will give us sight. He will beat, I would think, the Hong Kong horses home.
Yeah, and I think the other big plus, Zach Purton. I mean, you can't understate or undermine him being booked as well. Big race jockey, obviously needs no introduction, but Zach on a leader can be a weapon. And this horse, I think he's got a little bit to find, but he might be able to make that up with a barrier draw, Zach leading. Yep. Shane has said there's not much pressure. Yeah. Like if and that's what Zach's so good at. One of his superb skills is just rating them well enough where they're not pressured, but they can prove hard to run down. So I think it's a very smart booking.
Here's Stephen Marsh, the trainer of Elvincenal.
He's travelled up really good. He had a little minor hind foot issue. No problems now. He's just got it really nice. He's obviously having a really good look at the new surroundings as we saw. But finally when Zach got him going, he was good. But obviously quite a lot to look at here. But now he's had the experience, he'll be perfect.
And we saw you gallop down the straight. What can you make of his final gallop here?
Well, I did say to Zach, he better get him going soon because I'll blow out before the horse. But yeah, I thought his work was nice. He's obviously not fully concentrating. He's got his eye on all the surroundings, but it'll bring him on nicely. He didn't need too much. We brought him over pretty fit, so I think he'll be ready to go.
Stephen, he seems like a front-running type. Do you see riding him positively as the way to upset them in the QE2?
Look, he can lead, he can trail. If there's no speed, he can easily go to the front. But if they want to run along a bit, he's more than happy to take a trail. That's the beauty of it. He's very versatile. So Zach will work out the tempo of the race and put him where he's happy.
What are your confidence levels like?
Oh, look, we are confident. His form in New Zealand was great. He's come over here good. His last gallop's nice. So yeah, I'm very happy with him. It's hard to sort of line up all the international form, but I think we've got the right horse at the right time.
Yeah, all the best. Well, here are the trends trying to find the future winners in the QEII Cup. So they're the Japanese winners. So there's a few of those.
Well, the last 10, they've won 4 of them.
And what about this? In 2021, they had the first 4 past the post. So 4 out of 10 have been overseas trained in the last 10 years.
Yeah, they've dominated. And Gates 1 to 5 here. We know that start at the 2000 short run in, so half of them are drawn in. But, Japan have really dominated in this race in years gone by. And I think it wouldn't be a surprise, Shane, if they had the first 3 past the post here with, Liberty Island, Taztiere, of course, and hopefully Prognosis. So there's 3 of them there that can go 1, 2, 3.
100%. Yeah. They're all going well.
So you've got them on, you've got Prognosis on top?
I do. I think Prognosis is a great bet on the day. I'm trusting the fact that he'll run up to any one of his Hong Kong runs wins this race, I think, behind Romantic Warrior, whether it be the Hong Kong Cup or the QE2. Taztiere, I think, is the main danger. The reason why I've marked Liberty Island down is that I thought it was just a run in Dubai. She also has to travel back from there. It's not an easy trip to make to come back. Goliath might be shorter with some others. I can understand that with his form, but he's a mile and a half more of a mile and a half horse. That could somewhat be offset if Christoph decides to say, I'm going to make this a test.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Golden Boy?
I'll put him on top Goliath, but with no confidence. I think it's a strong race from Prognosis, who could be over the odds, as Clint said. Liberty Island and Teresta, and all those horses there have got a very good chance. This is a strong race, very strong race.
It should be an absolute beauty. A quick break. We'll come back with the Champions Mile and James McDonald. Well, let's talk the Champions Mile, and we do it with a bona fide champion. Our special guest is James McDonald. Mac, always great to chat to you, mate, and we build up to what's going to be some sort of day in Hong Kong on Sunday. You must be looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely, Richo. It's going to be an unbelievable big day, especially with the calibre of horse that's there, and the same with the jockeys. There's some phenomenal jockeys there, but it's always a good day this day. It's always very big and very competitive, so hopefully we get a little bit of luck and we can feature in the winner's circle throughout the day.
And Hutch, it's the horse to beat as we look at the field for the Champions Mile. It's a beauty.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Yeah, he's got the right form on the board, Voyage Bubble. I've got him favourite. I've marked him around 220. Bright side, I'm sure will have a lot of Australian support. Not sure would he be on the tote on the day. I'm sure there'll be a fair degree of support, around $9. Galaxy Patch, I've got marked the same. I think the race sets up okay for Galaxy Patch this time. But a really interesting runner, my second elect in the market, is My Wish. He's drawn gate 1. I think he gets a beautiful run. and I've got him marked at $7. Here's a look at Voyage Bubble. James, let's just touch on this performance from back in December where you beat a lot of the key rivals. I suppose for the way that I look at it, I know Galaxy Patch had an interrupted run, but your guy was so brave. He was on a pretty good tempo there. He kicked for home, and if he runs up to that sort of form, it'd be very hard to beat.
Oh, 100%, Hutch. He's a solid horse, very solid competitor, and he doesn't really run a bad race, to be fair. He's definitely around the mark all the time. I think he's gone to a new level this preparation, and he's full of confidence. He's had a couple of trials to prepare for this race, and if he turns up in any sort of form like he did there, he's going to be awfully hard to beat because he's so consistent. He doesn't shirk his task. He's got a great racing style, and even though it's a very strong race, I don't think it's any stronger than in the race he faced in December. So he just has to maintain a good high standard of performance. But even his run the other day over 2,000 metres a month ago, it was phenomenal. So he's in good form, the horse, and Ricky seems very happy with him.
Hey, and Shane, last year, Voyage Bubble was coming back from an overseas trip, and he was a bit flat, even according to James, in that run where he probably just finished evenly. But he this season, he's been well prepared from Ricky, and his form's impeccable.
Oh, it is. He's gone to another level, I believe. His last win was outstanding over the 2,000. He lost his spot at the half mile, got a slight check, and James didn't panic on him, and he just picked up and quickened like a good horse can. He's got no faults. If they go fast, he can sit back on them. If they go slow, he can race closer. He's going to be very, very hard to beat. But this is a good race, Clint. There's a lot of good chances in this race. Like I've found 4 or 5 if things go right, will be right there.
Yeah, and one of them has to be, J-Mac, has to be Mr. Brightside. How do you weigh up the Aussie form? I mean, you know this horse so well. You've raced against him time and time again. Can he measure up, Mr. B?
Oh, of course he can. He's a beauty, isn't he? And he maintains a great level of racing where he's so competitive at the highest level. But obviously, it's as all you guys know, it's so hard to beat the local horses in Hong Kong at this level, and especially when they're so good, like Voyage Bubble, Romantic Warrior, Golden 60. Like they're proper horses, and so it takes a pretty good one. The Japanese are coming full force, and they've had good cracks at them, and hasn't run over top of them. So it's going to be no easy task, but. Brightside, he's so consistent in his form, and he's got a great racing style as well. So he's going to give him every chance. But as you guys know as well, the Hong Kong track gets firm, and is it to Brightside's liking as well. So I think Voyage Bubble's sitting pretty there, and he's the one to beat.
Shane, the interesting part about this race for me, and it's quite intriguing, is the map, because you've got Brightside drawn exactly where they would have wanted. You've got Royal Patronage, who might lead. My Wish could lead, but those 3 have drawn gates 1, 2, 3. I mean, J-Mac is on a horse. He can go forward, he can go back, whatever he wants to do. Not go back, but he can probably not be too aggressive if he wanted to. But it's an interesting part. It's probably an advantage for Voyage Bubble's rivals rather than what James has got to overcome.
Oh, 100%. They needed gates to win, and they've got them. I don't think Mr. Brightside will lead. I can't see him leading. He'll take a set, but I can see Royal Patronage leading, and if he doesn't want to, I suppose My Wish would. And he's been very dominant before My Wish in front. I know it was over 1,400, but I'm sure he would be over a mile too.
Oh, Royal Patronage will lead. I reckon they'll go for it. He'll run some sort of race. Nicole Purton's been out and about for us, which is fantastic. Let's start with her intel. She caught up with Ben Hayes talking about Mr. B.
He's done everything you want to see with a horse travelling. He's settled in great. He's eating, he's drinking. As you can see out on the track, he's nice and relaxed, and all his work's been very pleasing. So we're very happy.
Based off what you've seen at track work, is he ready for Sunday?
Well, he's acting like he would just at home in Australia. And as you can see, he's just about to walk past in about 1 minute, and he's lovely and relaxed. He's doing everything right. His attitude hasn't changed. So we're hoping he, he gets to the races, and you'll see in the parade ring he's a very relaxed horse, and he should go very well.
And I know Dad's got his lucky suit. Have you got any superstitions that you'll be following through with on Sunday?
Yes, I've got my lucky tie, so I'll be wearing that. And I've got a suit that we've had a lot of good days at racing. So very similar to Dad, where it is inherited.
Well, happy birthday, and Sunday might be your belated birthday present.
Let's hope so. It'll be pretty cool if we could, if Dad can have a win and we can have a win. So we're, a bit nervous, but we're looking forward to it.
Oh, what a family double that would be, QEII rising into Mr. Brightside. The other Australian raider is Royal Patronage. Here's Claudia Fitzgerald.
He's travelled really well. He arrived last week, just I guess acclimatising to the humidity here and I guess the different way of the track, etc. In Sha Tin, it's quite big and an amazing race course. So I guess just for him is trying to get him to relax and in a routine here, which he's obviously so used to doing back home. But we're really happy with him. He seems to be thriving. He's eating well. He's drinking everything. So really looking forward to Sunday.
He's in great form. How happy are you heading into the race?
He's had a faultless preparation. He's obviously had that Group 1 win. He was amazing in the Doncaster last start. So fourth up, we really couldn't be happier with him. He's a fit, happy horse, and hopefully all goes well on Sunday.
Yeah, he's a beauty, isn't he? Remember when we were talking to Zach Purton, he was talking about little gear changes with Galaxy Patch?
Yes.
Yeah, what was he talking about? Adding...
he wanted blinkers, but now they've got winkers. So it's the owner's decision apparently, but there's been a compromise.
Right, okay.
By the sound of it.
Halfway.
Yeah, it's sort of, you're right, J-Mac, just sort of, put it one hand in hot water, one hand in cold water.
Exactly. We tried to do it with Watts on and the Golden Slipper when maybe we should have just went the full hog. He would have got over the line. But
bingo.
Anyway.
Hey, on that note, J-Mac, any lucky gear for you? You got a tie, you got some socks, you got some jocks. Anything lucky that you wear on the day?
One thing I wouldn't mind doing is go and cut holes in this hazy suit because it has been very lucky. That QEII riser hasn't stopped winning since that suit's gone on. And I know the suit too, it's safari. Safari suit with the cap on.
He does too. He has the beige, the ivory, the off-white on the bone, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does not wear it at any other meeting except for QEII Rising. So I laugh when Hawksy was saying, I can't wait for QEII Rising to come down and take on Briassa. I think you'll be wishing it doesn't come down.
yeah, I think you're dead right. I reckon I've got a lucky omen for you. I reckon you should take me with you for all your international trips. I'm very lucky, Mac.
You're very lucky.
Very lucky.
Yes. Well, I've taken Caitlin on 2 trips this year, and I've been beaten ahead both times, so she's not lucky.
She's out. You're beauty. Yeah. She's out, I'm in.
Hope she's in the other room.
It looks like she'll be staying home in November.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I love it. Hey, let's remind ourselves of Zach's assessment.
I thought his trial was good. He relaxed really well, even though he had the cheek pieces on, which has been the concern with him that he was going to over-race. But he was really relaxed, and what I liked most was when the gaps presented themselves, he showed a better will to win to go through there.
Yeah, so there's Zach thinking about Galaxy Patch, so a little bit of Purton magic required.
I think he'd be pretty happy with the barrier. He's going to get back. I think Zach will ride him and probably try and get the 3-wide trail and hope that those 3 or 4 that go forward just put a little bit of pressure on. I think the barrier is pretty good for him, and I think he gets his chance with the way this race sets up.
Here's Mark Newnham as well, of course, a really interesting runner coming off a derby.
Look, it's been pretty similar to how he has been all season. Trial 10 days out and then one light gallop on the Thursday.
And what did you make of his most recent trial?
Yeah, really, right up to his usual standard, if not better. Chasing QEII Rising is not an easy task, but he did it and he did it well. It was exactly what we wanted from it.
Okay, so there's some great insight in regards to a really interesting race.
Big plus the barrier for him because I'm sure they'll be positive and probably let Royal Patronage go early, maybe be leaders back. But Shane, his effort in the derby when running 10.9 his final 200, albeit for a slow speed. I know they can all sprint home quick off that sort of slow tempo, but not many horses can break 11 for a 200-metre race. And he showed he gets the trip. I mean, he's going to get a very nice run, and he's a very consistent horse.
Well, as you said, that's the thing, consistent. He's like Voyage Bubble. He never goes bad. He's going to get the run of the race. Whether he's strong enough now or he just needs another 6 months to toughen up a little bit more, that's debatable. But he will get the right run in the race. He never goes bad, and he'll be there at the 100 metres somewhere. There's no risk about that.
Okay, let's have a look at some of the trends. J-Mac's got his pens poised. He wants to write some of these down. Trends in the mile.
Well, as J-Mac said earlier, I mean, I think, it is hard for the internationals. So just in terms of some of the stuff that has happened in seasons gone by, what is, I think, one of the last 10...
which was Morris.
So or Morris, he's the only horse to have gone there internationally. Now, we have had a strong batch of milers. We've had Golden 60, of course, and other horses. So ultimately, it's been a distance which Hong Kong has dominated in. And the Chairman's Trophy's been a pretty good lead up. Some of even those top notches that haven't, used that as a vehicle have sort of still gone well here. A couple of bigger price runners have come through locally from that particular race.
Who's the hardest to beat, Mac?
Oh, it's pretty competitive. You guys probably hit the nail on the head there with My Wish and Brightside, but yeah, it's a solid race. I don't know. It's I think they're the two probably, to be fair, and Galaxy, but he always seems to have an excuse for himself. But like you guys said, probably on another show, that I think he'll get him to the outside and give him a clear run this time, and he might get a bit of confidence out of that.
Mate, has Evie been doing some painting in the background of your frame one? Beautiful.
No, that's cost me a fortune, that one. That's not Evie's.
That was a wedding present, wasn't it?
Yeah, wedding present, exactly. I see Daisy's girlfriend's been doing a bit of shopping. He's got a new gold chain around his neck.
No, I haven't.
Oh,
I've had that since I was 15.
Right.
I haven't noticed it.
They're all these
Must have polished it.
They're all these golden slippers, J-Mac.
Well, there's golden slippers somewhere.
Oh.
Golden slippers, mate.
Just the four for you, Mac.
Yeah.
Too good.
A little bit of flex.
Too good. Okay, Hutch, let's put you in the hot seat. Who wins it?
Yeah, I think Voyage Bubble is the one to beat. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what price he'll be on the day. He's going to be a firm favourite, but hopefully J-Mac can overcome that barrier. My Wish is the one that I think is very interesting here. Brightside will run his usual honest race, and I'm going to throw Galaxy Patch in for fourth. I went 2, 12, 1 and 6, so hopefully the Bubble can bring it home.
What do you think, Golden Boy?
I think it's open. I think Voyage Bubble stands out, of course, but I'm going to go My Wish from Galaxy Patch, Voyage Bubble, Mr. Brightside. If Galaxy Patch is the right price, I'm definitely backing him. His last 5 starts, he hasn't had a chance to win the race. I'm not saying he's better than him, but he has not had a chance to win the race.
Gee, Mac, that's a bit awkward. We've got you on the show and Shane's tipped against you.
Oh, no, it wouldn't be a surprise if he won.
I know, but you've tipped against him.
Backtrack now, Daisy. Backtrack. Unbelievable.
Hang on.
You're just telling me how good he was. Now you're tipping against him.
Yeah.
Well, I always look for value.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I always do
Doesn't
when
matter.
I bet, look for value. See, that's why I never back you in Aussie, because everyone does. What's it called? The
J-Mac tax.
Right?
Yep.
J-Mac tax, I'm told.
Yeah.
The horses are always too short.
Oh, yeah.
Must be good to be the only superstar riding in Australia, mate.
Lucky you're not here. Golden balls.
The golden necklace. Let's have a look at some of your other rides, Mac. And I think the one that we're really keen to talk about, A, Lucky Sweynesse, and then B, Prognosis in order. I might start with Lucky Sweynesse just because it's in race number 5. What are you expecting?
That's a good question, Richo. I'm not too sure because he's been ticking along quietly for a long time. I trialled him when I was having my short little stint there in December, so he's been off the scene for a very long time. But he seemed okay when I trialled him that time. I know he ran last, but he felt okay. And then he's had a couple of tick-over trials since, and he's sharpened up a bit better. But you got to remember, he was the champion sprinter in Hong Kong before QEII comes around, and he was at his top of his game. He almost had a record as good as QEII. So, look, it's a big ask. He's going to improve from the run, no doubt about that. But it'll be good to see him back, and hopefully he stays sound and ready to go.
So what about Prognosis, mate? We are so excited to see this guy.
I'm looking forward to riding him. I've obviously seen plenty of him, and he's been almost every time I've faced him, he's been the one to beat against Romantic Warrior, against Via Sistina. And this day we're watching, it was a phenomenal run. Like he arguably could have almost turned the tables here, but so he's a solid horse. And what I like about Prognosis, he's been to Hong Kong 3 times and arguably should have almost won 3 of them. Like he's a very good traveller of a horse, very good traveller, and he likes Hong Kong, which is a good sign. And he was sensational in this race last year, so I reckon he's the one to beat. I'm pretty confident with him.
I can't believe it with some of the fixed operators overseas that he's not in the top of the market, to be honest.
Staggered.
His form in Hong Kong is exceptional. Get J-Mac to jump on board as well. I think it's a massive plus, and we'll be plugging him plenty on the show as well a little bit later.
Yeah.
Hey, J-Mac.
Richo, it's funny, Richo, it's funny how things change with J-Mac.
Yeah.
He's now riding Prognosis, and he's saying it could have beat it. I heard last time when they were racing, people say that. It couldn't have beat Romantic Warrior. Romantic Warrior is too good when you're riding Romantic Warrior. Now you're riding Prognosis, and it's changed.
Hey, Dicey, he's come to the good side.
It's one of those ones. It's very interesting with Romantic Prognosis, the scoreline, and even like with Voyage Bubble and Galaxy, I think it's 5-1. But anyway, apart from that, you got a really interesting ride in the last race of the day. I'm sure you would have seen a replay. Ryan Moore won on this horse as well. Super Express.
Yeah,
nice
very
performance.
Smart, doesn't he?
Yeah,
very smart horse, and he's had 2 trials since this run. And Dicey probably knows more about the horse due to Ryan riding it, but he looks very smart to me.
Yeah, it was a really nice performance this day. Well backed. Got a good run with Ryan on board and was strong late, ears pricked. So hopefully James can overcome that barrier, but he's a nice horse going forward. He'll be hard to beat.
Hey, Mac, as always, mate, we love catching up with you. Just get one of those necklaces and get a few slippers on there, my friend.
Yeah, maybe you need one of those, a chain with the Hong Kong Cups and prints and
Melbourne Cups.
All he's got to do is get to 100. Is it what did Damien ride?
126?
120. Get to 127, then go and live in Hong Kong.
My little gold chain would look pretty sad with only one little slipper on it.
Don't tell him that.
Maybe you need to talk to me before the slipper.
Oh, here we go.
I should speak to you more often before I ride on Saturdays anyway.
Oh, no. Please do not encourage him. It's just so good to get that shot. We need to take a photo. There's the best and nearly the best ever from New Zealand.
No, we've got the best in James, but the smartest in me.
Hey, what do you call a New Zealander with a camera riding a bike?
Don't know.
A GoPro. See you, buddy. All the best.
See you later.
Good luck.
Oh, you've been waiting on that one.
That's a little crisp one for J-Mac.
Okay.
What a beauty he is. James McDonald, our superstar. Let's get to the form files. Future winners time. Who was the top-rated performance during the week?
Very slick performance from a horse running on the all-weather for the first time. He's always shown very good ability, but they'd be tickled pink with this performance from bottom up together. He jumped, he controlled the speed, and he beat a lot of dirt horses that have good credentials. So I love the way he pinned his ears back. Look, they get to a certain level in Hong Kong and there's no more options for them, but he was certainly very good there. He ran excellent time and gave nothing else a chance. Nice little Quinella for our subs on the day, but he ran a high figure there, bottom up together, and if there are more races and options for him, he'll be hard to beat.
Who's in the black book? Who's in the sweet defeat file?
Couple of runners. One was Shane, I knew liked on the day and put out last week. He just got a long way back, Etalon Or. He's ready to win, and he was, I thought, terrific in defeat. And Parents Love, there was a real track bias at Happy Valley during the week. I mean, the inside was clearly off, and Parents Love was down where you didn't want to be. But Shane, I like this run from Etalon Or. He just sort of, not that he lost sight of the bunny, but he just got so far back it was very difficult to make up all that ground. But if he draws a gate now over a mile, I think he's a winner waiting to happen.
He doesn't have to go back. He's actually got gate speed.
Yeah.
I had him in 2 possessions here. I had him actually going forward. But I've got nothing about him going back because they went along a bit. But the other horse, the winner, Bright Intelligence, got a really good ride, had everything to suit, saved ground. And the other one had too much work to do. But you're correct. He's very consistent. He always runs well, and there's a race waiting for him to win soon.
I know we've got a lot of our viewers who love your Sid file, Hutch, and I've been leading this charge that you need to start making sure we spreadsheet all of these performances. Here are your Sweet in Defeat file next start winners, let alone what happens 2 starts after you put them in the file, and it is a cavalcade of glorious winners, including a $16.80. That is just a snapshot. When you add in second start after being in the file and also up to third, it is fantastic. So well done, mate. Keep up the great work in that area.
That's why we have this segment, try to find a few. Unfortunately, a couple of those have won. Yeah, you're right, though. Sometimes you've got to give them 2 as well, because they can go on with it. So that's the name of the game.
Also, G1 Goldmine are partnering with Inglis, which is fantastic for the big chairman's sale. So if you want to go to the chairman's sale, make sure you get involved with the G1 Goldmine team, because they're going to partner up for an exclusive pedigree insight into that chairman's sale. Black tie, boutique little book at night, absolute beauty it is. There'll be sheets everywhere.
Well, James, who sort of stood in last week, he loves the Grit Gold Mine.
Does he?
He loves it, yeah. He uses a bit because he does a bit of breeding himself.
Yes, he does.
And I said, well, Richo's going to have to lift his game here.
Well, there's a lot of things I need to lift my game about. There's no doubting that.
Well, only because I know you go to all the sales and I know you're all over it. Because Shane, he considers himself a bit of a pedigree buff.
Richo, no, that's not true.
It's true.
I'm just worried about ratings. How were the ratings last week with James on instead of Richo, Clint?
It went up. It went right up, and it'll continue to go up. That's fine. I'm very comfortable in my skin. Idle time for you, Golden Boy. Time for us to analyse the best rides of the week. And who was the genius ride?
Oh, this was a really good ride. Put my glasses on so I can see. This was Zach Gate 10 here on Chilkaka. Now, the old Zach a year ago would have dug it like anything to be there, but he's taken his time. And look at him looking to get in the whole way. And he doesn't get in originally, but he forces his way there because he puts a little bit of pressure on them, and they know he's going to get in, and he gets one off here midfield, which is just perfect. It's just a perfect way. Now, this is what wins the race up here. He's got 135 pounds, and he could have lost his spot, but it's the jockey thinking. So when the horse in the red colours goes up and around, Zach gives him a little dig to get him going, to put him into the clear, but then he grabs hold of him again straight away because he doesn't want to get there too soon. So he did the right thing there, and of course in the straight he's just too good, but that's just a perfect ride. A horse with 135 pounds from a bad gate. You can't let them get up and around at the 600 or 700 with 135 pounds because you can't quicken. You've got to be bowling with that weight. It's all right with no weight, but with that weight it just holds you up.
Absolutely superb ride there from the gun, that is, Zach Purton. An honourable mention for another nice ride?
Yeah, I thought this was a really good ride on Wednesday night. Now, this is Happy Daly back on the fence, Matthew Chadwick. Drew out and he went straight to the fence. This should have won for sure 2 starts ago, right? And he was $32, and I don't understand the price because he should have been about 6 or 7. It was just ridiculous on his previous run. And he just bides his time, but he wins the race, and you'll see it when he straightens up. He just gradually shifts out a couple of horses to get a clear run, and he goes, let's go. And you'll see it up here. It's just a perfect ride. He doesn't get him off balance. He just gradually moves to the outside, waits for a clear run, and then goes boom. And that's just a perfect ride also. So well done, Matty.
Yeah, that is a sweet ride.
It was a beautiful ride from Matthew, no doubt about it. And as I said, he found the right spot on the track as well, because the inside was not the spot to be on Wednesday.
No, it wasn't. Votes are in, Golden. How did you see him this week?
Well, Zach gets 3 for that, and he rode 5 winners, I think. And Alexi Baddel's riding pretty well, going good. He rode 3 winners. Matthew got 2 for that. Alex Wong had 2 winners, but he rode a horse, Solid Shala, which was a really good ride at Sha Tin last week, so he gets 2. And the other boys all got a point each, so that's how it ended up.
It was good to see Benny Thompson get one with Fallon on the weekend, and he gave it a good ride.
He gave it a really good ride.
Yeah.
Did nothing wrong.
Absolutely.
Ride.
So the votes are in. This is our last show for the season, so the votes are in. And, Zach Purton, 42.5 votes, a lead of 12.5. Andrea's been the big mover, Golden Boy.
He has really, really turned it on the last, say, 6 weeks. He's riding extremely well, and then the rest. There's just one other quick thing I want to mention is I've been watching the Aussie races every week, and the one jockey who has caught my attention is Ethan Brown.
Yes.
He's been sensational. And that happened about 6 weeks ago when he ran third on that grey horse with Pride of Jenny. I didn't know who was on the grey horse. He chased Pride of Jenny where Jamie Mallon was sitting back, which was ridiculous. And I went to the computer. I saw it was Ethan Brown. I thought, geez, you're riding good. And look at him since then. He's thinking in races. So in Australia, if there's one jockey I want to give a plug, and his ride on Jimmy the Star was sensational last week, just sensational. He's going really good.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's had 7 Group 1 wins for the season. It's amazing. I know James McDonald's had 11 is off and away, but that is a great effort.
He's 24% in Group 1s, Ethan Brown.
24%.
Okay, but that's because he's thinking, right? A lot of jockeys don't think. Trust me, I watch races, they don't think. As soon as I saw him chase Pride of Jenny on the grey horse, and I did not know who it was, I said, there's a jockey who's really thinking, trying to win races and not making it happen, not letting it happen. He's making it happen, and I followed him every since in big races. I don't watch midweek, so I don't know how he's going midweek or what type of jockey. But on the Saturdays, He's probably the second best rider I've seen outside of James.
On a more serious note, I mean, Zach Purton has won the Idol. He's gone back to back.
Well,
this is rare areas.
When you look at his CV, I mean, most wins ever, most wins in a season, most prize money in history, most HKIR wins, most Happy Valley wins, most Sha Tin Dirt wins, 3-time IJC champion.
Means nothing.
And then the Mac Daddy. Yeah. First back-to-back winner ever of the Idol.
I mean,
hey, it looks
will
like
it ever
he's
be
got
repeated?
one thing. It looks like he's got one thing left on that list. Just looking at it quickly.
What is that?
Sha Tin grass whips.
That's it. And also, he might become the first ever to win 3 Idols.
It's it's sort of the last dance areas here with five NBA. I mean, it's just enormous. So.
Congratulations, Zach.
I'll tell you something, though. Zach has gone to another, I know he's up there, but last season he went down. He's turned it round, and that's the great thing about Zach. He can do it. And this season he rode sensational, and he is where he is because of it.
Yeah, well, I think he mentioned last season, physically, he just took him a while to get fit again.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's great to see him back. He is one of the world's best.
And he's 3 wins off 100 wins for the season. So Huey sits second. Andrea Etzeni's having a beautiful run, isn't he? Yeah. Who's now put a little gap on Brenton Avdulla there.
Thanks to Sahil at Race Quant, I did look at the stats. You know Andrea Etzeni, who Shane's been mentioning, he is riding. He's beating market expectations more than any other rider in Hong Kong. Really? It's hard for Zach because he's so well supported on them, but Andrea's the one that's really elevated himself, and this could get close if Hazy can bring out some new ones. But otherwise, you'd say John Size would probably be $1.20 to win the trainers.
Yeah, fantastic.
Hey, Clint, do you think it's happened since we gave him a bake on Golden Rise that day?
Yeah. Well, you could be right.
Just maybe. A quick break. Global racing on the other side. Global racing, a lot to get through, and thanks to the Whirlpool, there's a lot to look forward to as well. Have a look at some of these meetings in May, whether it be in Australia, South Australia or Queensland. Huge opportunity, of course, in the UK with 2000 Guineas Day leading into Lockinge as well. And then over in Ireland, the Irish 2000 Guineas. And Hutch, don't ever forget the Champions and Trader Cup. So all the Group 1 races in Hong Kong as well as the UK really coming to the fore in June when we think about Royal Ascot.
And Stradbroke Day, of course, in Queensland. So nice representation from all around the world. And, yeah, the Whirlpool just keeps getting stronger and stronger.
You win the Mornington Cup, you're in the Caulfield Cup, which is a beautiful little carrot, isn't it? But at Banker's Choice, the Ballarat Cup winner was too strong. Daniel Stackhouse in really good form. There's no denying him. Strawberry Rock charges at him, but just misses. But most importantly, for everyone involved in the Melbourne Racing Club, whether this race is really going to hold up from a Caulfield Cup point of view is a mute point, because it's about the atmosphere on the day. 12,000 people were there.
Yeah, no. Congratulations to the MRC. What a fantastic day here. Some of the shots. The families all turned up. That race there, the Caulfield Cup, obviously a big part of the Whirlpool, and you've got some fantastic races from Australia. But congratulations to all concerned. This was some of the patrons going on course with their families. Love to see it, Shane. They turned out numbers at Mornington there, and like we said, there's that key race going to the Caulfield Cup, but it's great to see.
You would never have ridden at Mornington, would you have, Shane?
Mornington, I went to the trials there one day.
That'd be about right. They don't have Group 1s there.
I'll tell you what, it was funny. No, that was at Cranbourne. I went to the Cranbourne trials,
No, you've never been.
When I was riding there over the carnival. But Mornington, I can't remember.
No, he wouldn't, unless he was down in Mornington Peninsula having a little vino, I would have thought. Antoine Hamlin officially announcing that this will be the last season for him, the French jockey.
That it is, and as reported by Idle Horse, it's a great place to get some fantastic articles as well if you ever want to, and keep your finger on the pulse around Australasia and the world for that matter.
Scan that QR code because you can come along to the Triple Trio Tour. It was sold out, and then we begged them to allow us for 15 more slots there, so please get involved. Trust me, you're going to have a lot of fun. Exclusive events for the Triple Trio Tour. And the Golden Boy will be appearing on a number of occasions. The best bets. Lead us away, Hutch, your best bet.
Yeah, it's a really good meeting. I mean, I know we've got those 3 fantastic Group 1s, but outside of that, Master of My Universe, if you want to see how good Zach is in the saddle, have a look at how he got this horse to travel when he won on it. And he's a horse that's been in good form. Single Quinella with Ash Cavani. And I think Prognosis is the next best on the card. I think he should be a clear favourite. And if he turns up like we know he can, go Prognosis.
Golden Boy, how'd you see him? You got a best bet for us?
I'll go a simple one. Super Express in race 3, he should win. Mind you, Monarch County goes all right. He's not a bad horse. He's in it, but he'll be short. But J-Max on, the best New Zealand jockey ever to ride, so he should be getting it home. If it gets beat, just blame him.
I just call him the apprentice, mate. The apprentice to you. Hey, our YouTube audience in Hong Kong, thank you for watching us. Thank you to everyone who follows us, whichever part of the world.
Absolutely, and in particular, some of the Cantonese, we've had subtitles, so that's a Cantonese audience. We really appreciate you watching, and to everyone through the whole season. Thank you very much. 23 of 88 still remain in the season. This is our last show for the season. We will be back on September 5. And none of it is possible without you, Golden Boy. Great work, mate.
Good luck, everyone. All the best. Hope you back lots of winners.
Yeah, I love it. Hutch,
good luck.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, and you.
And make sure you keep following us on HUTCHI'S Honkers.